It's official. It's happened. The playoffs are gone, and the chase is back. NASCAR's officially ditched the playoffs and is bringing back the chase. No more winning in. Straight points for the first 26 races. Top 16 in points get into the chase for the last 10 races. The field will be set based off of points, unlike 2 of the 3 versions of the chase. Those were seeded off of wins, then points. The leader in points after race 26 will get 2,100 points. Second will then have a 25-point gap, dropping to 2,075. Third has a 10-point gap, down to 2,065. And then everyone else will have a 5-point gap all the way down to 16th, being 100 points back at 2,000 points. Stage points still exist, but playoff points are gone. The winner will get now 55 points for a win, so 20 points more than second. A perfect race with stage wins gets you 75 points, excluding the Coke 600, that'll be 85. If I had to use one single word to describe this format, compromise. This is a format that is about compromises. This gets rid of the win and in illegitimacy. It still rewards you with more points for finishing the first 26 races, high in points. It rewards more points for winning. Every race matters more now, but so does consistency. I think everybody can agree the 2 biggest things for a champion is wins and consistency. We can debate all day which is more important and how much each should be rewarded. But this system does both. Unlike the playoffs, where consistency meant nothing. And then the Winston Cup format, where winning was not rewarded because second could tie the winner on points with bonus points. If you have a point spectrum, the winning you're in elimination playoffs and then full season points are both far ends of the spectrum, just opposite ends. I think this is a good medium that brings proper legitimacy back to the format and champion. This is a format that rewards winning more than the other chase formats have, and also more than the Winston Cup format did. Winning still matters. It's not as extreme as the playoffs, but it's still important. But what's going to matter much more now is consistency. This will also help clear up some of the driving standard problems that NASCAR has grown into. More importantly, it gets rid of those stupid race manipulation moments that happened every year at Martinsville before the final race. This is honestly a better format than I expected to get. It's not still what I wanted, but I'm happy. I agree with Mark Martin. Quote, I wanted it all, but I'm still happy. I was definitely on the full season points format train. I want full season points. Not the Winston Cup system, because that format had issues too. It didn't reward winning enough. If second place led the most laps, they tied the winner on points. That's not rewarding winning. I would have liked more points for winning than those days. I was expecting something like the last iteration of the chase. I was thinking it would be a top 14 drivers in points with 2 wild cards for the most wins outside of the top 14. And I was expecting the field to be ranked based off of wins and then points. I still hate stage racing. I hate the cautions for them even more. The biggest thing that bothers me with this announcement and still having stage racing is they talked so much in the announcement about simplifying it for the fans. Stages still makes it more complicated than it needs to be. Here's how I look at racing with stages. Does it really matter where someone was running on lap 75 in a 350 lap race? No, it doesn't matter. Who cares that they were leading on lap 75? It doesn't matter. Stages are like the race version of the playoffs. It creates a race within a race. Like the playoffs had a championship within a championship. Time for some statistics now. In 12 years of playoff racing, only 3 times has the driver with the most wins won the championship. 3 times. Only twice has the driver with the best average finish won the championship. Only once has both happened in the same season, and that was Martin Truex in 2017. In 10 years of the chase format, only 4 times the driver with the most wins won the championship. Also 4 times for the highest average finish. Brad Keselowski in 2012 is the only driver to do both in the same season. Keselowski was also tied on wins with Hamlin and Johnson in that season. I also find it important to note, for only 3 years of the chase were the drivers ranked off straight points for those first 26 races. 2 of those 3 years, the driver with the highest average finish did win the championship. In 29 years of full season points, saw 15 champions with the most wins, and then 25 with the highest average finish, and 12 of those occurred in the same season. No format is perfect, and here's the proof. The Winston Cup format is not as good as people think and want to say it is. Looking at the 9 worst champions in terms of wins differential between the champion and a driver with the most wins, 6 of the worst 9 are from the Winston Cup era. And that includes the top 4 worst ever. Same can be said about the playoffs. Similarly, 6 of the 9 worst champions with worst average finishes were from the playoff format. Joey Logano in 2018 and Chase Elliott in 2020 are the only 2 drivers to make both lists. I would have done this as a top 10, but there were 4 drivers tied with 3 wins, and I didn't want to pick just one to make the list, and I didn't want to have it more than 10, so I kept it at 9. Let's look at percentages for most wins being champion in each format. 52% of the time, the Winston Cup champion won the most races in a season. 29% won the most in the chase era, and 20% in the playoffs. As for average finish, 86% had the highest average finish in the Winston Cup era, 29% for the chase, and 14% for the playoffs. Looking at average finish, the playoffs and Winston Cup are complete opposites of each other. While some may see this as an opportunity to point out a full season points format is better, and I don't disagree, I think this is the best compromise we were going to get. It's far better than I expected, and you have to consider teams, sponsors, and media's point on this. The playoffs are great for entertainment and getting eyes on the sport. The playoffs are definitely entertaining, but as I've always said, they're not special. Having 4 drivers fight it out every year for a championship, not special. I cannot name a single memorable championship fight from the playoff era because they're always close. They're always down to 1 race. There's not one moment I look back and go, that was special. This is the first time I think in some 20 plus years NASCAR has made a major move to move the sport back towards where it was when it was great. You can't make everyone happy. The stats for the chase system, I feel, are not an accurate way to evaluate that system, as there were 3 different versions in 10 years. This will now be the 4th version of the chase system. And again, I remind everyone, only 3 of those 10 years were the chase field set off of points and not by race wins. I'm happy with this format. Is it perfect? No. Is any format perfect? No. I think full season points can still be the goal, but I think that was too big of a swing the other way right now. I think this is a good medium compromise that can bring people together, but you have to be open-minded enough on both sides to give it a try. For the first time in years, I'm actually looking forward to a NASCAR season and feel like we can have a proper championship fight without me having to go between my multiple spreadsheets trying to statistically analyze the champion versus everyone else to try and determine if it's a legitimate champion or just lucky by getting good at the right time or at the right tracks. So now, you've heard from me, and now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the new version of the chase? What changes would you make? What format would you like to see NASCAR implement? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, so long, everybody.
Car outside. Clear high if you want it. Top 5, great finish.